The Roman Catholic Diocese of Évreux is a Roman Catholic Latin Rite diocese in France. The diocese comprises the department of Eure within the region of Normandy. The diocese is a suffragan of the Archdiocese of Rouen, and the current bishop is Christian Nourrichard, appointed in 2006. History. Tradition has it that the Diocese of Évreux was founded by St. Taurinus. The tradition claims that he was born during the reign of the Roman Emperor Domitian, and was baptized by Pope Clement I. He set out for Gaul in the company of St. Denis, who founded the Church of Paris. He went on an embassy to Rome, where he received the blessing of Pope Sixtus, after which he returned to Gaul. Shortly after the death of Sixtus, the barbarians overran the province. The last remark, on top of the unlikeliness of the other statements, makes it clear that the story is fiction. An attempt to fix the chronology places Taurinus in the time of Sixtus II, not Sixtus I. There were indeed barbarian incursions under the Emperor Gallienus in those years, and St. Denis is usually put in the 3rd century, but then the part of the story involving Taurinus's 1st century origins must be jettisoned, leaving practically nothing, and one must admit that the 3rd century date depends on a scholarly conjecture. Other writers suggest other dates. Chasant and Sauvage opt for dates of California, 380 to 410. Le Brasseur indicates a preference for the time of the Vandals in the 5th century, but neither presents any evidence. Gams assigns a date of 412 in his list of bishops of Évreux, and provides a day of death, August 11th. Fisquet provides a rationale for the date of 412, but it too is composed of suppositions and conjectures, not facts. In reality there are no facts at all. There is, however, a body. The remains were discovered by an inhabitant of Évreux named Lord Ulfius, who had retired to a nearby cave for prayer and meditation. In a dream he heard a heavenly choir chanting that the day was the feast of St. Taurinus. Lord Ulfius set off to inform his bishop, Bishop Viator, but amazingly the bishop died before Lord Ulfius could tell him the tale. Lord Ulfius was elected Viator's successor, and he immediately had a second vision of a column extending from heaven to a certain spot on earth, where, upon investigation, they found a tomb, conveniently supplied with the inscription, Hic Equuiescit Beatus Taurinus Primus Episcopus Ebroicaecivitatis. A little wooden chapel was built on the spot, out of which grew the Abbey of St. Taurine. During the invasions of the Northmen under Rollo, the body was moved twice, first to the Auvergne and then to Castrum Lordosum. When the remains were taken up, the translators found the inscription just quoted, which may have given rise to an element in the traditional story. The sack of Évreux by Rollo was witnessed by Bishop Sibardus. In the 18th century, the chapter of the cathedral had a dean, 3 archdeacons, a treasurer, a cantor, and a penitentiary. There were 31 canons, of whom the abbot of Bec was the first. 8 of the senior canons were considered barons, and the most senior was the Baron of Angerville. There was also a successor and 45 chaplains. There were some 550 parish churches in the diocese, of which 8 were in Évreux itself. Cathedral. Part of the lower portion of the nave of Évreux Cathedral dates from the 11th century. The west facade with its 2 ungainly towers is, for the most part, the work of the late Renaissance, and various styles of the intervening period are represented in the rest of the church. A thorough restoration was completed in 1896. The elaborate north transept and portal are in the flamboyant Gothic. The choir, the finest part of the interior, is in an earlier Gothic style. Cardinal de la Balue, Bishop of Évreux in the latter half of the 15th century, constructed the octagonal central tower, with its elegant spire. To him is also due to the Lady Chapel, which is remarkable for its finely preserved stained glass, 2 rows windows in the transepts, and the carved wooden screens of the side chapels are masterpieces of 16th century workmanship. The Episcopal Palace, a building of the 15th century, adjoins the south side of the cathedral. An interesting belfry, facing the handsome modern town hall, also dates from the 15th century. The Church of St. Taurine, in part Romanesque, has a choir of the 14th century and other portions of later date. It contains the Shrine of St. Taurine, a work of the 13th century. From 1982 to 1995, the Bishop of Évreux was the dissident cleric Jacques Gaillot, who was subsequently demoted to the titular see of Partigny. Bishops to 1000, 1000, 1300, 1300, 1500, 1500, 1700, 1700, 1800, 1802, 1900. Jean-Baptiste Boulier, Charles-Louis Samin du Châtelier, Nicolas Théodore Olivier, Henri-Marie Gaston Boyce, Normand de Bonnecaux, Jean-Sébastien Adolphe de Vaucoux, François Groslo, François Houghton, Louis-François Sueur, Marie-Simon Henry Colombe, Philippe Meunier. From 1900, Louis-Jean Decolet, Constantin-Marie Joseph Chauvin, Alphonse-Paul Désiré Gordon, Antoine Caillot, Jean-Marcel Honoré, Jacques-Jean Edmond Georges Gaillot, Jacques-Louis Antoine-Marie David, Christian Nourrichard. Bibliography. Reference works: Gams, Pius Bonifacius. Series Episcoporum Ecclesiae Catholici, quote Coanota de Betu Petro Apostolo, Ratisbon, Typus A Sumptibus Georgi Josephi Mans, pp. 549–551. Eubel Conradus, Hierarchia Catholica, Thomas 1, Munster, Libraria Regensburgiana, p. 234. Eubel Conradus, Hierarchia Catholica, Thomas 2, Munster, Libraria Regensburgiana, p. 148. Eubel Conradus, Gulick Guilelmus, Hierarchia Catholica, Thomas 3, Munster, Libraria Regensburgiana, p. 190. Gauchat Patricius, Hierarchia Catholica IV, Munster, Libraria Regensburgiana, retrieved 6 July 2016, pp. 179–180. Ritzler, Remigius, Sephrin, Pirminus, Hierarchia Catholica Mediae Recentus Aviv, Patavi, Messagerodius, Antonio, retrieved 6 July 2016, pp. 191. Ritzler, Remigius, Sephrin, Pirminus, Hierarchia Catholica Mediae Recentus Aviv, Patavi, Messagerodius, Antonio, retrieved 6 July 2016, p. 204. Studies Bonne Théoduse, Opuscules et Melanges historiques sur la ville d'Évreux et le département de l'Eure, Évreux, J. Anchel, Bury, Vicomte, Les Archives Héraldiques d'Évreux, Évreux, REC, Chassand, Alphonse, Sauvage, Eure, Histoire des évêques d'Évreux, avec des notes et des armoiries, Évreux, Tavernier, de Bider, Louis, Essai sur l'histoire de l'abbé bénédictine de Saint-Taurine d'Évreux du XIVe siècle, Évreux, ch. REC, Duchesne, Louis, Fasts Episcopaux de l'Ancienne Gaule, 2, L'Aquitaine et les Lyonnaises, Paris, Fontemoing, pp. 225–230. Dudo, Eric Christiansen, ed. Tr. Notes. History of the Normans. Woodbridge, Suffolk, UK. Boyd Ellen Amp, Brewer Limited. ISBN 9780851155524. CS1 maint. Multiple names. Authors list. Fisquet, Honoré. La France Pontifical Métropole de Rouen, Évreux, Paris. Etienne Repos. Fossey, Jules. Monographie de la Cathédrale d'Évreux, Évreux, Eure, Gallia Christiana, in Provinces Ecclesiasticas Distributor. Thomas She, De Provincia Rotomagan C. Paris. Typographia Regia, 1759. pp. 564–673. Instrumenta, pp. 123–152. Pfi, ed. Almanach historique et liturgique du Diocèse d'Évreux. 3. Évreux, Cornemio. Le Brasseur-Pierre. Histoire civile et ecclésiastique du Comte d'Évreux. Paris. François Barrois. Winkles, Benjamin. Garland, Robert. French Cathedrals. From drawings by R. Garland, with an historical and descriptive account. London, Charles Tilt. pp. 125–137.